What if I told you that the same hydrogen peroxide sitting in your medicine cabinet can eliminate every pest in your garden without toxic chemicals, without harming your plants, without endangering your children or pets, and without spending thousands on commercial pesticides that actually damage your soil long term? What if one simple spray solution could save your garden, your health, and your wallet simultaneously? I was watching my beloved plants get destroyed by pests until I discovered this solution. And the results within 48 hours were absolutely miraculous. Stay with me, because this will save your garden. The garden emergency that broke my heart. Let me tell you about the moment I nearly gave up gardening entirely. I'd spent 3 months nurturing my balcony garden. Tomatoes, herbs, flowers, and vegetables. It was thriving, beautiful, my source of pride and relaxation. Then one morning I walked out and found disaster. Aphids coating my tomato plants in thick clusters. Fungus gnats swarming around every pot. White powdery mildew spreading across my herb leaves. White flies attacking my flowers. My beautiful garden was being destroyed in front of my eyes, and despite everything I tried, the infestation kept spreading. The science behind hydrogen peroxide as pest control. Here's why hydrogen peroxide is so effective against garden pests. When sprayed on plants, it releases oxygen upon contact with organic material. This oxygen burst is lethal to soft-bodied insects like aphids, mites, and whiteflies, while completely harmless to plants when properly diluted. For soil pests like fungus gnats, the oxygen eliminates the larvae living in soil while simultaneously aerating the root zone, benefiting plant health. Additionally, hydrogen peroxide kills fungal infections like powdery mildew by oxidizing the fungal cells. It also kills the bacteria that cause plant diseases. The exact formula. Here's the precise mixture that works without harming plants. For general pest control and disease prevention, mix 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide with 1 cup of water in a spray bottle. This creates a 1 to 2% solution. For severe infestations, you can go up to 2 tablespoons per cup of water. The application method. Spray your plants in the early morning or evening, never during peak sunlight. Direct sunlight immediately breaks down hydrogen peroxide before it can work, and wet leaves under intense sun can burn. Spray thoroughly, covering all leaf surfaces, including undersides where pests hide. Pay special attention to joints between stems and leaves where aphids cluster. The 48-hour transformation. When I first used this spray, I honestly expected minimal results because nothing else had worked. But within 24 hours, I could see the aphid clusters thinning significantly. Within 48 hours, my tomato plants were free of visible pest damage. The fungus gnats around my herb pots had disappeared. The powdery mildew on my herbs was visibly retreating. But here's what surprised me most. My plants didn't just survive the treatment, they thrived. The oxygen from hydrogen peroxide actually benefited root health. New growth appeared faster. Colors became more vibrant. The soil smelled healthy and alive instead of that chemical deadness from commercial pesticides. My garden went from disaster zone to thriving within 1 week of hydrogen peroxide treatment. Why commercial pesticides are actually worse. Commercial pesticides kill pests but also kill beneficial soil microorganisms, earthworms, and beneficial insects. They accumulate in soil, becoming less effective over time while creating increasingly toxic environments. They leave residues on edible plants. They run off into water systems. They're expensive and require protective gear. Hydrogen peroxide does none of these harmful things. The cost comparison. Commercial pesticides, $15, $60 per bottle, applied repeatedly, with ongoing costs and environmental damage. Hydrogen peroxide pest spray, around $2 for a bottle that makes dozens of spray applications. Annual savings, at least $100. Environmental savings, incalculable. Additional garden benefits. Beyond pest control, hydrogen peroxide improves seed germination when seeds are soaked in diluted solution. It prevents root rot by aerating waterlogged soil. It disinfects gardening tools. It cleans algae from plant containers. And used as a regular spray, it maintains plant health by preventing fungal issues before they start. This is the hydrogen peroxide garden spray that eliminates every pest non-toxically. 1 tablespoon per cup of water, spray morning or evening, every 3 days for 2 weeks. If this just saved your garden from chemical pesticides, smash that like button. Subscribe and ring the notification bell for more natural gardening solutions. Share with every gardener you know. Comment on what pest you're fighting. Go non-toxic, protect your garden naturally, and watch your plants thrive without harmful chemicals. Click the link in the description box below to join our free cleaning community. I'll see you next time.